Character design is provided by Demon Arty. Be sure to check her out over on her social media platforms. Links to her Twitter and Instagram are going to be in the description down below. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So Loki had his first episode. I don't know if they have titles, because no, they did with Mandalorian. They didn't have titles the next day.
I don't think they do.
But I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it. Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston, his Loki performance, and with Owen Wilson, I think they work so well together. It's fun to see them together.
I was kind of worried a little bit, but after seeing this, I'm like, no worries. This is going to be a great series.
I think it's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm. Just like Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, they work well together. These two work well together. I like it. They have a good give and take back and forth. And Loki just has this like, I'm better than everyone. I'm a god. Why am I here? But guess what? Here you're nothing. You're just a dude.
Yeah.
You're just a guy who jumped out of time you weren't supposed to.
And the thing is, I could see him do this on the stage, and he would do.
Oh yeah, like very Shakespearean.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
big, and it's
even like his first little moment when he has to stand on the rock. Like he literally has to be just a little bit bigger than you.
I love
just
it.
a little bit.
So it starts out with the Avengers with the Endgame.
Yeah, 2012.
Remember the part where they're trying to get the Tesseract? He ends up grabbing, disappearing. Like where the hell happened to Loki? That's what.
I like it because they show a little bit what he's doing during this, which is kind of fun. So we didn't get to see that.
I thought that was pretty cool. Like we get to see a little bit of the side stuff. So he disappears and ends up in Mongolia. Yeah. And like you said, he lands on the ground. He sees some like the local people. He like gets on the rocks so he can be a little bit taller.
It's like, oh come on,
because that's Loki.
Yeah.
I'm better than you. Kneel before me. They're like, who are you? Like
they're speaking their native language. Yeah, like I wonder who's this guy.
Then we see some time portal things open up, like doors, and we see some like official looking soldier guys. And Loki's like, "What are you guys doing? Who are you?" Oh, and they're like scanning the stuff, and they see the Tesseract, and it's like, "Hey, don't touch that." And then they go, "Oh, this is variant number. We're placing you under arrest." He's like, "Who the heck are you guys?"
Yeah.
And they're like not answering him. And he's like,
do you comply?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it. And he's like,
you know what? Because everything he's been through that day, this is basically the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So after getting tossed around by the freaking Hulk, he's like, you know what? This is your last chance to comply. He goes up there to fight the lady, but I guess since they have time powers, she can move super fast. She hits him in the face. He's like,
yeah, like the weapons are like, it's like a time thing where like it's hitting him constantly.
So the pain of this hit is being stretched out over time.
Yeah.
So imagine feeling all that.
And then like it's works. I thought like, is it slow down? And then she's like moving normal, and she's like, oh yeah, this was gonna like.
And she puts like a collar on him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, he got put down.
Yeah.
And they just pick up the Tesseract. They just pick it up.
Yeah.
These people can just, because that thing's killed people.
Oh yeah, the Red Skull.
Because since they're outside of time, I don't think it affects them.
So yeah, they cuff him up and they take him away. I'm like, wow, he got taken down without a fight. But I guess these people are that powerful. So they take him through the door, and we're thinking, okay, so I guess this is what happened with Loki.
And then they put like a little orb down, and we're like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, they said it's a time. He goes, okay, we're gonna reset time here, and it was like a little like land grenade, but it turns like purple. So what's the technology? What is this?
I don't know the technology, but the thing is it resets so those people never saw Loki.
Or I think it even makes it where he never even grabbed the Tesseract.
No,
he just got arrested.
So literally they fixed that problem. So Loki never went anywhere. So they
can fix that variant. Yeah.
So he's the man at a time.
Yeah, because he's a copy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he's a copy.
So now there's a regular Loki who just got arrested and got taken to Asgard, just like the rest of the movies play out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So crazy.
Some random Loki running around, and here he is.
Yeah.
So he gets taken to this place, and it's like a 1950s, 60s Art Deco.
Oh, it almost feels Fallout-ish a little.
Yeah, because the computer monitors, they're like round, and the screens look really crappy. Like, kind of reminds me of a Tandy 1000,
And also the color scheme, they're like these browns and oranges, very 60s.
Everyone's like, yeah, they're tired. Their ties are skinny because that's the look, how the look was. Remember in WandaVision, they had a 50s, 60s vibe.
I think it's because this thing's been around for so long, it just that's the aesthetic, like it doesn't change.
Or do you think time is so slow, like even though like it's like way in the future for them, it's like barely the 60s, and then like it'll get.
It's a weird, they don't really
like it'll bounce back.
Super weird.
Yeah.
So like he gets arrested basically, and he's like, what the hell, I'm a god, and you guys are nothing to me. But they're like, oh, hello, sir. Like they're just like this guy at the helper desk. Lady walks up. This is for evidence. She drops the Tesseract, and he's like, oh, what's this? And he's like, be careful with that. He's like, I don't even know what it is. Let me pick this up and move it over here. Like, it's just like...
Yeah, and he's like, Loki's like, what the heck?
You can see that it has a diminished glow, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
And anyone who knows anything about... When we get to the part where you see where this all plays out about Marvel Comics and how the Infinity Stones actually work, it makes sense. Because people went on a little kerfuffle because they're stupid and they don't know anything.
Yeah.
But when we get to it, we'll explain exactly why that is the way it is.
And then there's like this business guy that's like captured too. I'm like, what the heck did this business guy do?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a regular person. You don't know who you're messing with. Oh, you know, and they're just like, come on, move along. And they're just kind of just shuffling him along.
Yeah, I'm like, what the?
And then just like how Loki's just like, what is all this? I'm a god. You can't tell me to do these things. She shoves him into... elevator, like, well, you know, we'll see each other later. It shuts. We see a giant robot. It reminds me a lot of Ragnarok, Thor Ragnarok. Remember when he got arrested? Yeah. It's like that, but in the 60s.
Yeah, it's like the same kind of feeling, because Thor was the same way. Like, I'm the god of thunder, and then, you know,
just beat his ass.
Beat his butt. Yeah, he's like,
So this robot from Fallout's looking at him, and he's like... Then it's like looking at him as like a smiley face. He's like, what the hell is this thing?
And then it gets like a weird, like, kind of like...
Scan
him.
And it takes off all his clothes. So he's butt naked, and Hiddleston's been hitting the gym. He can't let Hemsworth be the only one who's freaking cut.
Well, he's got his brother.
But here's the thing, though. I don't care. He looks amazing. He has an amazing physique. That's awesome. Oh, how dare they show his body? If this had been a woman, they would have been like, "Oh God!" They make her in her bra and panties. They would freak out.
Of course,
but we get a beefcake shot. It's perfectly fine.
I know it's stupid. It's fine. It's fine either way.
I think it's awesome because he's freaking. If I worked out and I looked like that, I wouldn't own a shirt. I'd always walk around without a shirt on. But that's awesome. I think he looks great. Then they give him like prison clothes.
Yeah.
Because he's wearing like he's regal Asgardian.
He's like, this is real Asgardian leather. Like, okay.
And then now he's wearing the freaking prisoner outfit.
Yeah.
So he looks like a bum now, like a complete like greasy-haired bum, like they just picked off the street. So he's being humiliated, especially someone like Loki.
Yeah.
So it just keeps tossing him around, and it throws him down to the next level. We see a guy with a giant stack of paperwork. Sign this thing to verify this is everything you've ever said in your life. He's like, what?
Like an old like copy machine.
Yeah, it even has like the things you tear off the sides.
Exactly, yeah.
A dot matrix printer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, now sign this. I'm not doing any of this.
Keep signing more. You can make it longer.
He just finally signs it. Then he keeps like dropping further and further down. And see, this is the part that's like it's funny. And it's funny to see someone like Loki who's so full of himself, who thinks I'm for grander purposes.
He's getting friggin'
like livestock.
Yeah. And he feels like he knows life. Like, I understand it all. And he's like, no, you don't understand nothing.
Yeah.
So he ends up in a room with like what looks like a like this like
detector.
The scanner guy's like, are you a being that was born of natural ways and you're not a machine and you have what some people would refer to as a soul? He's like, what are you talking about? If I'm not a robot. And he's like, okay, step to the scanner. And he's like, well, what if I didn't know I was a robot? Well, this thing would destroy you. He's like, what? Because these are thinking, maybe I am a robot. It's like you get that little doubt in your mind.
Well, because it's like, what if you were made so well you don't
know you're a robot.
Exactly.
Because they probably, again, if they have this machine, there's a reason why.
And then this part actually made me laugh. He walks through there, then like a light bulb goes off and go crap, I thought it like zapped him. But
yeah,
it was just like a thing. Then he kind of like winces. Then it scans him and it says, this is like your something aura.
Your aura.
And it was all red.
Yeah.
Is that good? Is that bad?
No idea.
You know what's funny? I think the reason why I thought that scene was kind of funny, because he always thought he was Thor's son, right?
Yeah, Thor's brother.
But he,
Odin's son. But he was a frost giant.
He's frost giant.
So didn't you already know that already?
But what else do I not know?
Yeah, what else do I not know?
That's true.
Like, what if he was never told and he really was an android, you know?
Yeah.
So he just keeps getting sent down further and further. Then he ends up in a room where there's a lot of like, it's like a ride at Disneyland, like back and forth.
There's no one there.
There's one other person in there and they pull a ticket. Then the guy's like, grab a ticket. He's like, there's no one here. Why do I need a ticket? He's like,
pull a ticket.
Okay, here it is. Puts it in his pocket, starts walking left to right. It's like a long... Then I guess we get a whole explanation of what this is, but it's like a 1950s, hello, I'm Dr. Bunsen. You know, one of those like...
Yeah, it's a time thing. I'm your time thing. I'm going to tell you the history of this time.
She had a really sweet like southern accent. Yeah. I liked it. It was very cute.
What's her name? Like Miss Minute?
Yeah, Miss Minute.
Like Miss Minute.
So, I guess there used to be a whole bunch of tangent timelines. Then there was a giant temporal timeline war where they were combating so you can be... Because I guess other timelines were invading other timelines. Yeah. So if all these people were dying, whole timelines were being erased, then these time people, these timekeepers, I guess they're like the Lords of Lords, said, screw it, we're making a unified timeline and we're going to keep things straight and narrow. Instead of everything crisscrossing and everything, what do they call it? The sacred timeline?
Yeah, sacred timeline. Yeah.
So then everything kind of became like more of a pipe, like a bundle of wires. Like an Ethernet cable. So there's a bunch of little wires and one big wire.
So no one's fighting anymore. Everyone's flowing together.
And has their own flow.
Yeah. Even though it's their own time, they're in that time thing.
But isn't this the bad guy that they showed that's going to be the bad guy in Captain Marvel 2? This dude in the middle?
Oh, if that's the case.
Is that the guy?
How's she going to fight him?
Well,
I don't know. A god.
So I don't what god, what's a god into a god?
Yeah, I know.
So it's explaining everything, how they pulled everything together, and now there's one timeline to talk about. Well, but then sometimes there's these tangents. Someone will use the timeline to try to do something, and then it will cause something that goes haywire. We send our they invented this whole thing, this TVA, time variance police people. They go there, they take care of the person, then they and they erase that tangent and they get it right back.
I like this even if you were supposed to go to work.
Some people do it to make money. Some people because they were late for work. So they like all these stupid little like reasons why you would.
Which I love because it's that common joke of like, if I had a time machine, I'd go back and win money. Well, then technically, if you did that, they would find you.
Yeah. If it's one of those things where it's like if it doesn't cause a big issue or whatever, like they don't even care.
Yeah.
So they show like, but if you let too many of these little tiny things happen, another temporal war can happen, and it would be madness. What's the name of Doctor Strange too?
And the multiverse of madness.
Wow.
Yeah, that's exactly right there. And they go, because what happens, and then other choices will happen to others, and others just keep going in a weird tangent.
And then they'll all break apart, and once they're all broken apart, they're going to start fighting again.
Yeah.
So we did this thing, we invented this thing, and it's such a great, wonderful thing. And again, it's all like done in cartoonies. It's pretty funny. And then I just think it's funny that it shows you like, oh, we put everything back to the way it's supposed to be. Blink, and the guy's like back at work, like the whole thing you did.
And it takes the other guy, and it kind of shows like they just kill you.
Yeah, they get rid of you. We take care. I love the ending because that totally looks like a what was it? Those crappy films you'd watch in school, the ones that are made for like education purposes.
For you, America, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. The TVA, we're here for you. Like, it's one of those stupid...
And Loki's looking like, what the heck is that?
He just starts laughing. He's like, no.
A little bit afraid, because, like, they just basically said they're going to kill me. Like...
but they also, that's when they also explain, like, you picked up on it of saying that there's another one of him that's going normal.
Yeah, they put it back in normal time.
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, so what happens to the Loki now? But then it's like,
they
fixed it, so that Loki never left.
Yeah, he never got the Tesseract. He went to jail and went to...
So that timeline that he's from is going to go normal.
Yeah.
Super funny. So he's like, what the hell's that? I don't belong here. Then there's like another guy kind of complaining like he is. He's like, the guy's like, where's your ticket? I don't need no ticket. I didn't grab one, whatever. And the guy just exits him out of existence.
And they go, ticket please. And then he's like, oh, God, I'm looking for it.
He gets it.
He's holding it up.
That's so funny.
Do not shock me.
I'm sorry, guys. This is funny.
I love it so far.
People didn't like this?
I love it. It has the same feel, like you said, of Ragnarok when Thor was going through all his horrible crap, and he's like, that one guy gets melted next to him. Like, I love it. Yeah. I love seeing Thor and Loki.
And this was just the opening. Kind of opening.
Then we get the opener where it says Loki and all the things keep changing back and forth and everything. Well, okay, that's pretty cool. Then we get to freaking France in 1549.
Yeah, 1549.
And I guess some guy jumped back to that time, so there's some time variant cops there. But I guess he got the jump on him and killed them all. And took that little grenade, that little time.
The time.
Then, we see Owen Wilson's character. He's like, oh man, from the way it looks like they got the jump on him, and they didn't even see it get to him.
Got stabbed.
So this guy, whoever they were going after, who's jumping through timelines, must be a pretty badass dude.
Yeah.
Then a little girl walks in. And it's a church in France. I think it's like Joan of Arc.
Yeah,
because like we thought, honestly thought that could be something related.
Related, because I'm like, well, technically she did, to get her like epiphany, vision. She went to church, and that's when she prayed, and that's when she saw it.
Because
so
the way he's dressed, again, like a 1950s businessman, she'd be like, what the hell is this guy wearing?
Yeah.
But he walks up to her. I guess whenever time they go to and place, they know the language. Because he's talking to her in French and he calls that guy like an imbecile. No. I understand what you're saying. So that's a cool little tidbit.
But they look like the other guys. If he would have told him, he would have killed that girl. He's like, no, we're not doing that.
But once they do that grenade, then everything gets reset anyways. Yeah. So they probably don't value life very much.
No, they seem very callous about it.
Because they can just reset it.
So he goes to talk to this girl. I thought it was pretty funny that he drew like a little man and he made it run. He's like, who did that? Who ran away? Then she's like, oh, it was the devil.
Yeah.
He was like, what the devil? But... then once we get to find out what's kind of going on, I'm like, oh, that makes a little sense. Then he's like, okay, get out of here. You got to go. But he's like, whoa, why are your teeth blue? Oh, he shows us some like bubble gum. Ain't no bubble gum like that back then.
No, exactly.
So whoever this person was gave her some candy.
Yeah.
But that person must have known that the time Temple Police were going to show up. So is this like his calling card? Haha, I got away with this.
Yeah,
you can't get me.
Yeah, that could be it.
Because he's like, run this for spectral analysis. Like, we're not going to get anything. So just do it anyways.
Yeah, just
because it is evidence. But yeah, he gave her like blue raspberry bubble gum.
But someone in 1670 shouldn't have bubble gum. That's just not weird.
Yeah, so that was odd. Then, you look at that devil picture. I'm like, that's kind of weird.
And then I forgot what he said. He said something poignant like, oh, we have...
Like, that devil's scared of us. You have to let us know where he is. Well, that's why he's running. Because we're going to get him. Thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, we have some really bad dude. Yeah. And I didn't know what he was going to do when he showed her the little running man. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to erase this girl or something. But no, nothing like that happened. Then someone comes through a time portal. Hey, you need to see this. Hands him a file, Loki's file. It has like a big stamp on it and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so this is where he finds out there. And he's like, oh, we see Owen Wilson's character's like, maybe we can use this guy. Mm-hmm. Interesting, because he's powerful.
Yeah.
Super powerful.
And also, if you're trying to find another criminal, it's always nice to have another criminal that thinks like that.
Yeah.
So we get back to Loki, and he's being shuffled through all the different things, and he's just being herded around. He's like, okay, you're going to go see the judge. He's no, pulls in front of the judge, step forward, do you plead guilty or not guilty? Guilty of having a divine purpose, guilty of being the god of missions. He's like doing like he's big, and the lady's like, are you guilty of the crimes that we're charged with? Because you're not impressing me.
Yeah.
And Loki is not used to this. No. This like treatment of like, I am a pleb, I'm nothing.
Yeah.
And I just love that the fact that he's being knocked down. Not even to his knees. His nose is in the dirt. That's how low he's being knocked.
You thought he got knocked down when he fought the Hulk. No, this is way worse. This is his ego being crushed.
So there's like, no, of your time variance and doing this like that, are you guilty of that? Then he like doesn't like being a jerk about it.
Well, he tries to blame it on the Avengers.
No, the Avengers goes, I knew there was 2 Tony Starks there. I could smell them by the cologne.
And then they're like, no, that was supposed to happen. What you did wasn't supposed to happen. He's like, what the hell? So they're allowed to time travel and jump and I'm not? But that's supposed to happen. What divine timeline? No one decides what I do but me. And they're like, no, you don't. We decided what you do. And then he hates that. What has Loki always wanted? Control.
My own destiny.
Yeah.
And he's like learning, in the back of his mind, he's probably doubting what maybe these people do control everything that happens.
Yeah.
And they not necessarily make you do things, but they will put you in a position for you to make the decisions that they need you to make.
Yeah.
So he's kind of losing everything. He doesn't even have his free will.
No.
Yeah, and that's where even at the point right now he tries to like make his swords come out, and he's like, "You have no magic here." Like,
he's like, "I'm guilty of this," and they're like, he's trying to use his powers, and the judge is looking at him. Okay, everyone be quiet.
Be quiet.
Why isn't it working?
So he's like, magic doesn't work there. Your powers don't work here.
He's like, F this stupid place. I hate this place. Now, like, literally now he has nothing.
Yeah.
First he was power. Like, he's just a guy. He's just Tom Hiddleston now. So he's doing his thing, but Owen Wilson's character walks in and, okay, you're guilty. Be sent to be reprogrammed? Reset.
No, reset. They're just going to get rid
He's like, what's that mean? What does that mean? So I think that means they put you down.
Yeah. They put you down because I think, like you said, because you exist in the other timeline. They get rid of you, you're done. You're gone.
That's so weird.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, you're not even. It doesn't matter.
Owen Wilson's like, may I approach the bench? He walks up there, and then she's like, "What are you thinking? It's a bad idea." He's like, "Oh, but come on, it's Owen Wilson. Come on, it's Owen Wilson."
Wilson really does it so well.
I love this little banter with her. I like the way you sit up there. It makes me look up to you.
I'm always looking up to you. That's a good place for you. I love it.
So stupid.
She's like, "You're stupid jackass." But if anything goes wrong, it's on you.
It's on you.
It's okay. I got it. I'm Owen Wilson. So he's like, okay, you're coming with me. And he's like, well, okay. And he's like, Loki literally has no control over her. And that one lady who captured Loki the first time doesn't like the Luke Olsen's character at all.
No.
Because this is my caller, basically. Yeah. So she's be giving him guff, but he's like, oh, calm down. Like, I love his attitude. He's almost like the paper pusher guy who has a project and like, I can use this guy on my project.
Yeah, exactly. I love it because I feel like they're the two different sides of the coin. He's there to capture people, but she's there to terminate people.
To enforce the law, and he's trying to do what's best for everybody.
Yeah.
So he looks at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
If I have to bend and twist a little bit, but if for the greater good, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Again, all this is so interesting, and I don't even know how any of this is happening because Loki still thinks like this is all an illusion.
Yeah.
You guys are all just making this up. And he's like, no, let's look at this window. And he's like, oh, this is home sweet home. And you see that this massive steampunky, futuristic-y.
The thing is, you don't even see a sky. In fact, they're inside something.
It looks like they're in a pocket watch.
Yeah.
Like in a big watch, because there's like a top and a bottom, but it goes on for like
when you see flying cars everywhere, he's like...
And the one thing I love is like, I'm going to burn this to the ground. He's like, well...
I'll show you my desk.
You start there.
Oh, jeez, I can start with my desk.
I just love his attitude, that carefree attitude. And he goes, yeah, well, this place is a nightmare. He goes, well, there's an apartment like that. You can burn that down.
He's like, I'll show you that. Whoa, that place is awful. So is there a place that makes nightmares? Or is he just busting his balls?
I don't know. We don't know.
I do like the fact that the elevator just has all these random numbers and symbols.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like
you said, Art Deco, like, you know.
But there's someone in issue 247 of Avengers in 1932 that this means this, and there's gonna be somebody that figured all this out, and there's some code, and I'm not that guy.
That's fine. We're not gonna do that. That's not us.
But he's like, what is all this? I'm just trying to help you, and he's like, I just want to talk. I hate talking. Well, I know for a fact that you're a liar, and you just lied because you love to talk. Because Loki loves to boast and banter, and that's who Loki is. So he's just trying to like befriend him in a funny way. Yeah. But Loki's like, no, I'm not having any of this. I'm a god. And then he's like, well, that doesn't really mean anything here. He's like, all that stuff that you think makes you great, but here it means nothing. Like, nothing. Your magic doesn't work. You're just a dude.
Yeah.
And so he's going to like, okay, we're going somewhere. We're going to go talk. And I thought this was super funny because when they get into the room, he's like, are you going to kill me? He's like, no, we're just talking. Well, this room looks like this is the place where you would kill me.
It's kind of scary looking. Ominous. It's really big. Only one little table, 2 chairs. What the heck is this?
And then it was funny because the old Wilson's character goes, actually, the last place you were is where they kill you. Yeah. It's like, oh, jeez.
But he has like a little like orange computer from 1973.
Yeah, I love it.
And he's like, oh, just sit down. I'm going to ask you some questions. And depending on you ask the questions, we're going to decide what to do with you.
Yeah.
So he's like, so do you enjoy hurting people? It's like, what? I'm not playing your little game. And it's like, no, really, like you, Loki. I guess his last name is like, he had a funny last name.
Loki-sin?
Yeah, like Loki-sin or something really stupid. Just keep calling him that, Mr. Whatever. Then he's like, no, do you really like hurting people? And he's like, I do what must be done for my glorious purpose. Like, yeah, but what does that mean? Let's just say you do that. What are you going to do? Be the king of, New York when he took it over? Oh, it'd be the king of Midgard. Oh, that's a pretty big place. Well, what about after that? Oh, the Asgard and the Nine Realms. Oh, outer space. That's pretty big. What about after that? Well, the whole universe. Well, that's a pretty big place. Like it's like someone's giving you a job interview.
Yeah.
And they keep digging. I don't want to answer your stupid questions no more.
Yeah, it's almost like if you could promote, where would you promote to? Kind of thing, like in the company. Right?
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
Don't say doing your wife.
don't say that.
The Family Guy, that was funny. But he's like kind of playing it along, and because he kind of shows him, wow, for a man with all these aspirations, you should get beat up a lot. And he's like showing, let's look at the highlights of your life. Then the point when they're all at him all at porn. He's like, oh.
I just went through that.
He's like, I was there. I remember it. You don't have to show it to me.
And then he shows him like he's asked for the drink, and he's like, oh, you can have a drink of my drink.
He has like a weird soda, whatever it is I wanted. Yeah. But it's like, he's like,
you'd be surprised. You would be sorry some soda company didn't make that soda.
I want it. I bet you at Adventures Campus. I bet you can get it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's funny? It's like he's having like a nice conversation, but you gotta almost realize like Loki's killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird that you're talking to this man so calmly about how bad he sucks.
So he's kind of going through like his life and like his decisions and stuff, and he's talking to him about it, and he's like, well, and he's like, I'm not supposed to be. He's like, but what would have happened to you if you wouldn't have grabbed the Tesseract? You would have went to Asgardian jail, and then the Dark Elves would have came back. And he's like, how does this guy know about Dark Elves? So like he must know something. He must have deeper knowledge. And then he's like showing him other things like, oh, I want to talk about your escapes. Mm-hmm. You seem to do a lot of escapes. Then that scene where he's like on the airplane, we thought that would be part of the story. I guess it's like a thing he did.
Just for fun.
Yeah. So he does that whole heist where he steals all that money and jumps out the back of the plane.
Yeah, he's the classic B.B. Cooper.
Yeah. So the reason why he never got caught because it was Loki and he went back to Asgard.
Yeah, funny, he lost the money. Because what was the point? He doesn't need money. What's the point?
Then he's like, well, that was just a stupid thing. I lost a bet and Thor made me do it. What, go down to Earth and do a bank heist or rob a plane? Like, why would he want him to do that?
That's so stupid. It's so meaningless.
And then on top of that, then he gets kind of mad, like, boy, you let me do that, but like, apparently I take the Tesseract and now I'm screwed, basically.
Because that was meaningless and stupid and meant nothing.
Yeah, and he goes, we were watching you the whole time.
We were right there, just, looking at what you're doing. Okay, it's fine. It's not going to mess with anything.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that people think, well, if I go back in time and I spill a glass of milk, it's going to cause World War III. You're not that important. Calm down.
No, unless you did something. Exactly. But again, though, it's funny how that one video showed. But if you miss work one day, it can destroy everything.
But they're the ones watching all of it.
So it's kind of funny how that works. Like,
it all depends what that not going to work would have caused.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they show him when he was telling everyone to bow before you're Loki, and he's all like this, all standing above him. Then that's when the Avengers came down.
And then he's like, well, if you don't like pain, you really like jabbing that thing in that guy's eye. He's like, you're like really enjoying that.
But he's like, yeah, look at all these terrible things you're doing. And he's like, again, do you enjoy causing people pain? Oh, I do. It must be done. And he's like, because that was my step to ascension. You're just in my way. It's like, well, no, but like, this is what happened to you. Then that's when he shows him him being arrested. He's like, and it shows his mom. And then he's like, because he loved his mom. He loves his mama.
Well, and also this is something that he hasn't seen. Because this hasn't happened to him yet.
He goes, this is an illusion. This isn't real.
And he's like, Mom, do I make you proud, mother? And she's like, I'm sad for you, Loki. You know, do you believe in me? I'm your mom. No, I don't. Then even in his heart, he's like, oh, why would I say that? I would never say that. That's my mother. I love her with all my heart and soul. Because you see, he's getting like teary-eyed because he sees his mom again. He's like, then the Dark Elves come. And you sent them right to her.
But you didn't mean to. You're thinking you're sending him to Thor. But you send him to your mom. And
then he sees the mom get killed, and he's like, "This is fake. Where is she? You have her.
You have her hidden.
You have her hidden. Give her you need to let her go.
That's her fate. That's what she did."
It's like, no, you did this. And then he's getting pissed because
gets up,
that's my mom. You know, she for all the evil he's done, he would have never like killed his mom, but through his own actions, then he's all getting pissed off at him. And if you know this, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, you're gonna kill me like you killed your mom. Oh,
he gets up. He's like gonna die.
He throws that chair at him, and then she goes and then just erases him.
Yep. Back to where he was. He can't move. Yep.
Yeah. So no matter what he does, he hits a button.
Well, we can't bring the chair back up.
So he just fell on the ground. So he's like,
but he's looking at him. He's like, don't do that. But I think he knows what he's doing. He's pushing him
to break that.
His name's Morbius.
Yeah, Morbius.
Yeah, Morbius or Morbius or whatever. So he's like, but do you like to hurt people? He keeps going back to that question. And then now that he's seen his mom died and all the terrible things that he did, and Loki has to ask himself, why am I doing these things? He asks himself the big question.
That's why he's doing it.
Super cool. I like that. It's breaking. Loki's going through his full redemption arc in one episode.
Which took like a couple of movies.
I like how he tries to get up and he puts him down. Like, I want to stand up. That's so funny.
Yeah, he's like, I just want to stand.
You ruined my big moment. Yeah. He's like, okay, just do it anyways. But he's like, this is all an illusion. It's a thing to manipulate the weak. Weak people use it to manipulate other people because that's the only way they can get a little bit of power in a world that they have none.
Yeah.
So he does like this big old speech, and I go almost like, that's good. I like that.
And then the party really gets him too. He goes, you know what? You were meant to do that. You make the Avengers better.
Everyone in your life is to make better.
Everything that you've done in your life to be this horrible person that you are was to uplift people to make the best versions of them.
And it shows the scene when they're all getting together in a circle, and he's like, oh, man.
So basically your whole purpose was to make everyone else better.
To bring the Avengers together.
And then for you to be a piece of crap. That was your whole purpose.
And he's just sitting there like, F this mother effer, but he kind of feels like it's probably true.
Yeah. You start feeling the self-doubt in yourself. Like, oh my gosh, like, is this true?
But this is what the psychologists call a breakthrough moment. They got his breakthrough moment, but then the lady comes in, the original lady that caught him. We have a problem here. He's like, I'm doing my job here.
We always have a problem.
I'm making progress here. What do you want? Well, we have another issue. We have it's like, oh, geez, always
another
something.
time variant or something.
Loki, sit down. I'll be right back. He goes out with this lady. Okay, there's been more squads have been killed. So there's someone hunting the Time Squad people. And then we see that he comes back. Okay, we can pick up tomorrow. Go back to your room. Then he's gone. He looks for his little clicker thing. He stole it from him.
Yeah, because Loki can do that.
A little bit of mischief.
Yeah, he's like, dang it.
So this is when Loki thinks, oh, I got to get the Tesseract. Yeah. So he's teleporting around, and there's like all the paper pusher people, like you would see at the office.
Oh, normally, yeah.
He gets that one guy that took it, and he grabs him, and he sees him in his little like cubicle. Oh, hi, I remember you. Like everyone's just like
so nice.
Happy-go-lucky, just kind of this. Oh well.
He pulls him down. Whoa, calm down, buddy. Like everyone's kind of. He's like, what's your name? He had a regular name.
Like Doug or something?
Yeah. Then he's like, you have that Tesseract, where is it? Well, if you don't give it to him, I'm going to gut you like a fish. Oh, what's a fish? Like, these people don't know what that is.
What do you mean you don't know what a fish is?
I'm going to kill you.
Well, I kind of want to know what you're threatening me with before I comply. He's like, I'm going to make you feel immense pain. And he's like, oh, okay. I'll get it for you. He opens up the drawer, like his little like desk drawer, and he hands him the Tesseract. He's like, yes. He looks down. He's like, the F, there's Infinity Stones in here. A whole drawer.
Tons.
Multiples.
So there's like, like
tons.
There's about at least I'd say 15 to 20.
Almost like, and there was like 5 time stones.
Yeah.
Then he's like, the Infinity Stones, they're here? He's like, oh, those weird things. Some of the guys use them for paperweights. I don't even know. They're pretty, basically. Then he picks it up and he's like trying to hold it and nothing's happening. Then he's thinking, damn, the most powerful thing in all the universe that we've all been chasing is meaningless here. And people are like, that's so stupid. Oh, people on Earth died for nothing if the Power Stones and everything don't mean anything. Infinity Stones. Once the Infinity Stones are removed from the Earth that which they were from, the universe they were from, they are powerless. Yes. So they're worth nothing.
That's been in the comics forever, guys.
So even if you take these stones to another Earth, they wouldn't work.
You have to be that universe. And also, it makes sense why there's a bunch of them, because how many times has a timeline been messed over because of stones? The Infinity Stones. Probably a lot.
It's so funny, and the thing is the way the people act the way they do, because it's such a powerful area, they don't have to worry. There's no threat to them. That's why they're all like, oh, geez, buddy, what are you doing? So
he kind of stands up, and he has a Tesseract in one hand, and he's just like, he comes to that realization, holy damn, these people are ridiculously powerful. Yeah. And he's like, this is the most powerful. He goes, literally, the Power Stone, they keep calling Power Stones, the Infinity Stones are nothing compared to the TVA. He looks over at the things like this. He looks at the screen that shows the timelines. So that's the most powerful thing in all the universe. Then that lady shows up, and she has like her little shock stick.
She's going to totally go for the kill.
Kill him. Because that's the thing, like Mobius is like, don't kill him. I guess I'll use him. Yeah. But she wants to kill him. Then he uses the clicker thing.
Goes back to that room.
Back to the room. And then one guy's, you almost hit me with that. Oh, jeez. Man, that wasn't very nice.
No, this guy's just, like you said, he's probably just born there and he doesn't even know anything better.
So the question is, can they be brought back? The time people?
I don't know.
Because if people are killing the time people...
But they're outside of time, though, already.
But yeah, but that's what I mean. So you can't bring those guys back.
I don't think you can.
I don't know.
I don't know. And that looks like a big place. So I'm thinking, like... You can't kill them all.
These things are probably like in pocket universes and they can reset.
Yeah, maybe this is it's so vast you couldn't even begin to understand what technology they have.
Anyways, that was just one of my thoughts. I'm thinking like that's almost impossible.
So Loki's pretty much broken because he has what am I gonna do?
Reality is shattered for him.
So he goes back to that room where literally all the tape was playing of his life. Then he starts he goes back to the mom again and he's like, I can't believe I caused my mom's death.
Yeah.
Literally, I would have destroyed all universes
to save
her. Then to have my mom die because he loved his mom.
Yeah. And then he starts seeing more and more into his future.
And he sees when Odin, I love both of you, my sons. And he's,
and also because he sees his hurt, like he actually looks at himself and he's like shocked that he said, "I love both of my sons."
My papa. Then I thought that this is just the most beautiful thing ever. Because remember in Ragnarok, it's like, well, maybe you're not so bad after all. He's like, maybe not.
And then I also like too. He said you're meant for bigger than better things, brother.
That's all he ever. And then Thor's like, I looked up to you, Loki. You meant that you were the world to me.
I thought we were gonna be fighting forever. I thought we'd be fighting side by side
for all time.
And then that made him actually smile.
That smile.
Yeah, that genuine
that is Tom Hiddleston. Bam.
I love that
Love it so much. That's the best moment.
Then the next thing they showed him with him and Thor and Valkyrie, and they're about to fight
together. He's like, well, there's me with my brother. Mm-hmm. I know I was meant for better things, and I was standing by my brother's side. Mm-hmm. That's what I was really meant for. I love it so much. The tears in his eyes, the smile on his face.
And then he's
love my brother.
Oh, and I wish you were here. I am, brother. And
he throws the rock and he catches it because he thinks it's an illusion. Yeah. Damn, I love that. Then he fast forwards a little bit more and he sees Thanos. Who the hell's this guy? He goes to jab him and then he has the some of the Infinity Stones. Then he grabs Loki and then he hears and he sees himself get killed. He's like, holy, I just saw myself die.
Yeah. And then he looks down and then the last
thing he sees Thor holding him.
And then the whole thing blows up. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Then we see the tape.
And the tape. Yeah, like in
there's some numbers and letters written on the tape. And I've seen people say that it says like 616, something. So that's
like the main timeline.
But we see two different sets of numbers. Did Morbius set this up for him to see this, for him to come around?
Maybe.
And splice together different things?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what people are saying. I don't know.
That would be cool.
But then he just kind of sits there and then, Morbius comes in the room and he has like the little stick. Nowhere to run, Loki.
Oh, no, the other lady comes in.
Oh, yeah. He fights her. He fights her. That part's funny.
Yeah.
She comes in and he's like devastated. My mom's dead. I know my dad's going to die. My brother he actually did love me, and he did care about me, and I fought by his side, and then I died trying to protect him. And then he sees this lady like, I'm done. Forget you. You go to fight. She kind of gets the upper hand, but he switches on her, gets her.
I like that he
gets the collar on her, and he keeps like doing almost like a rap.
Like super quick. She's going through. It was so funny.
He was kind of having fun with it. Yeah. Then he like makes her like go completely out of the room, and that's when he's just like, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and sit here and see how this all plays out. Then Morbius comes in. He's nowhere to run, Loki, and he's like, I'm not running. Oh, okay. So, and then he's sitting there, so what's going on? I don't like hurting people. I don't like causing pain. He's like, well, let's talk about that. Why do you do it then? Because weak people use it to as an illusion to try to get some control when they can't. So when he said that speech, he's saying about himself, I'm the weak one. And I do these terrible, horrible things so I can have power, so I can feel like I'm in control.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Because if you look at all Loki's plans, all of it was done out of almost fear. Yeah. Like he wanted to, like, again, he was afraid of the frost giants. That's why he wanted to do that big play to get rid of them. He's afraid of Thanos. That's why he joined his side and to try to take over Earth. Everything he's ever done is out of fear because he feels like he's so weak. And then it's kind of sad. The one time he did have guts, he ends up getting killed. Yeah. Which is really sad.
Well, also too, even show him when he took that guy's eye out. You enjoyed that.
Yeah. Look at your face. You're smiling.
Yeah.
So he kind of comes to that bare bones, down to the bottom of your soul. What are you going to do with yourself? Then he's like, you guys, the most powerful things in all the universe that I thought of are powerless here. You guys are formidable. You guys are.
Yeah. Well, then there's that one question. I'm never going home. He's like, no.
So he's like, well, what do you need me for? It's like, well, for being so mischievous, I think we could use you to help us because there's some very dangerous time variant people out there. He's like, oh, they told him you're not one of those people.
No, you're a sweetheart compared to these
people. You're just like kind of an annoyance compared to some of these other people. He's like, but we need your help. Well, against who? He's like, you. So there's another Loki out there that's all like badass and but evil. What if doing all this is what causes there to be an evil Loki?
Well, maybe they've maybe done the song and dance before and it keeps on happening.
But if it wasn't meant to happen, then why is it happening?
Yeah, it's true.
Because weren't those three Mega Time Lords?
Well, I'm thinking it's not Loki. I think it's someone else.
Someone disguising themselves as Loki?
Probably. Oh, it could be.
So then we see another 1858.
Yeah.
So then we see some time variant people out there, and someone has some type of tracker. I guess they were trying to find oil. Oh, I want to be a big oil baron. And then they go, should we get that guy? Nah, who cares? Yeah. Just reset the timeline.
It's probably some jerk that made a time machine trying to make money. And it's
Great Scott!
Which is really funny because that's like, I guarantee you, anybody that's ever thought of making a time machine, that's the number
sports
one thing.
Betting.
Yeah, sports betting money. Yeah, because you want to be rich.
Yeah.
But they're like, wait a minute, someone's here. And then you see a person standing out there and they're like, charge up their weapons. But I guess he booby-trapped him, so he drops a freaking lantern and lights up the whole field. All those people got killed. Well,
and he grabs that reset.
And he grabs that little reset grenade thingy. Bam. End of episode. I thought it was pretty good. He had lots of mystery. I don't know what's going on.
He's
looks pretty cool. Loki came to he had his come to God moment where, you know what? Maybe all those things that I did to become great and it helped other people become great. But in the end, I saw that I fought alongside my brother. He cared about me. I love that.
I love at the very end, he goes, we get you. He goes, come again? I got to get myself. What the heck? He's like, okay.
But awesome. I thought it was a really cool first episode. I'm hooked. I want to see more.
I would too.
You know what? I can't wait to see more of this. I think it's great. I almost want him to have, speculation, some way of letting his family know that he's all right. Like something.
Because throughout the whole entire Thor saga, everything, his family, he loves Loki. He loves him.
Yeah. Just even if it was like something, even as like a glimmer, something that he would leave and just be like, this is really weird.
Like a green knife or something.
I'm hoping last episode, Owen Wilson, lets him do it. Okay, he won't tell anyone. Just go talk to Thor for a minute, then he just lets him, and then he goes back. Okay.
He gives him a thing.
For a minute or two so he could talk. Yeah, that'd be great.
But that was pretty awesome. Hiddleston knocked it out of the park. Owen Wilson did an amazing job. They were so great together.
He did great, and the thing is when I saw Tom Hiddleston was like executive producer, I knew, okay, this is going to be good, because he loves the character. And he's going to do it justice.
And what I love about this is that you can make this Loki a hero.
Because he's not the other Loki.
Yes, and he's not... And also, this Loki's going through a lot of stuff. He had a lot of groundbreaking moments. So
I know we're gonna hero up all the villains.
Yeah.
But I kind of like this one.
Yes, I do.
Because it makes sense. It's outside of time, so it doesn't really affect anything. It's not like it's the main character, like you said.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think this might even expand to other universes. I think it's going
That's how we're going to get the X-Men. This is how the Multiverse of Madness is going to play into all this.
Yeah. So, like you said, you might see a weird team-up of Loki, Scarlet Witch, and Doctor Strange.
I kind of want to see Owen Wilson team up with Doctor Strange. Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, I just want to see that now.
But, yeah, pretty cool. I thought it was a really, really solid first episode.
Exactly.
That's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.